Hello, my lovelies. Maybe you're new to this self-love journey and you're trying to find ways to get started. And maybe you're looking for ways on how do you even start practicing self-love? Like, where do I even start? What are some things that I can do? Well, I want to share with you guys 10 easy self-love habits that you can start today. And then as these habits add up over time, you'll start seeing and feeling the difference. Self-love habit number 1, writing down your thoughts. And this may seem a little simple, like essentially it's journaling, but especially when there's something that's kind of tormenting you, whether you've got a lot on your mind and you can't stop thinking about a certain situation or even a feeling, journaling and writing those out on paper and kind of doing a brain dump, just bleh, dumping them all on a sheet of paper can help us express those emotions and thoughts, and essentially we're letting them go. So you can do this on just a plain blank notebook. Just start writing down how you're feeling, and it's essentially just a stream of consciousness. Like whatever comes to your mind, just start writing and keep going. And if you don't know where to start and you're struggling with just starting on a blank notebook, there are guided journals and notebooks that you can buy that can help you with the process as well. I have one that I want to share with you that I'm using,
and I love it.
It's called Tune In, a journal for talking to ourselves. And it's like, come on, like look at this cover. Isn't it beautiful? And these guided journals, just to give you an example, they'll usually have questions and prompts that you can follow. So as you can see, this one is for, you can put whatever date that you want. And then there's questions like, what's your inner dialogue saying? Why is it saying that? And it's a great guided journal for putting your thoughts on paper. And there's other ones too. I'll link to some of them in the description below so you can check them out. Or if you just want, just grab a blank sheet of paper or a journal and just start writing it out. It's that easy. And as you practice it, you'll start feeling that release every time you're done getting your emotions out on paper. Tip number 2 is be present. We all have a tendency to stay stuck in here, just constantly thinking about everything that's going on in our lives. We have like a million thoughts just like going around in there. We are not always as present and as aware as we think we are. So being present is just being in the moment, stop worrying, stop, texting or looking at your phone, and just really be present in the moment. And that can be during a walk. Say you're going outside for a walk, instead of texting or scrolling on social media, just be present, look at the world around you, look at the sky, smells, any smells that you can smell. Be present and really enjoy the moment. And even when you're eating, like instead of, thinking about what you have to do next or being on your phone or trying to eat as fast as you can, just savor each bite, like really enjoy your food, focus on the texture, focus on the flavors, be grateful for the food that you're eating. That's what being present is just like cutting out all of the noise, whether it's external or internal in our heads, and then just really focusing our attention on what's around us and what we're currently doing. That personally for me has allowed me to get out of my head at times, especially when we're stressed and we're thinking a lot about things. When we focus more on our body and our physical sensations and the world around us, it helps us reconnect with ourselves and stop getting stuck in here so much. Tip number 3, set some boundaries. We set boundaries in order to protect our energy and to show others how we want to be treated. I used to be a total doormat when I was a teenager and when I was younger because I had a hard time saying no to anything, and I wanted to please people because I thought it was my responsibility to make people happy and like me. So a lot of us have those tendencies that we carry over, like from our childhood into the rest of our life. But when we are constantly saying yes to everybody else and to things that we don't even want to do, then what's left for us? So when we set boundaries for ourselves, we're showing ourselves self-compassion. And that's so important in your self-love journey. Again, it's not always easy, especially if it's at work. But sometimes it can be as simple as like, okay, I'm setting off all of my work notifications after a certain time so I can disconnect and have more time to myself or have more time with my family, or even just saying no to something that you don't really feel like doing or you just don't have the energy to do right now. And the great thing about setting boundaries is that you encourage others to do the same, and you can inspire your friends or even your family to step up for themselves and set their own boundaries. I've noticed that in my life as well. Tip number 4, take mindfulness breaks. And it doesn't have to be like a half-hour break, but just getting up for maybe 10, 15 minutes, whether it's stretching, taking a little bit of a walk, going and grabbing some water, watching a funny video on YouTube. Just make sure that you're taking breaks, because in our society, we're always focused on go, 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 go. We have to get all of the things done. We just have to hustle
hard, right?
But that can lead to burnout. It's important to disconnect, even if it's only for a few minutes, and decompress. And that honestly helps you focus better when you go back to whatever task that you were doing. Whether you're studying for an exam at school, or you're working a 9-to-5 job, or even if you're an entrepreneur and you own your own business or company, make sure that you're taking short breaks throughout the day to just reset and relax so that you don't feel overwhelmed. I see such a difference when I do that. Like if I'm just glued to my computer screen all day, like my eyes will hurt, I'll like feel stressed, and then I'll realize like, oh my God, I haven't moved in like 5 hours. I've just been sitting here. So I make it a point for like literally every hour or 2 hours, if I can, like just getting up and moving around, just anything that can help you disconnect for a bit so that you can refocus. Tip number 5, do something for yourself today, for you. There's a lot of things that we feel we have to do, but we may not always want to do. Like we're not always in the mood to go to work. Maybe we're having an off day, but we have to because it's our job, right? Make some time, even if it's just 20, 30 minutes, to do something for yourself. Something that you enjoy, that is for you alone, and that you choose to do because you want to do it. Maybe it's exercising, or maybe cooking yourself something yummy for lunch. If you enjoy cooking, that can be something that you do for yourself. It can be watching a movie. Whatever it is, make time to do something that's just for you, that's going to bring you joy. We need to make time for ourselves, because when we make time for ourselves, it also helps us reconnect and learn about ourselves more. Like, what do I love to do? What brings me peace? And a lot of the times we put hobbies to the side because we just don't have time for them. When in moments that we're stressed or feeling down, it's those hobbies that we need the most. So try doing something for yourself today. Like I said, it can be something simple as reading a book, maybe painting, maybe writing, something that's just yours. Number 6, make a mistake. You're probably like,
do you want me to spiral and get stressed out?
Like, what do you mean make a mistake? How is that going to make me love myself more? Well, I know it seems hard, but a lot of us struggle with feeling the need to be perfect. That was me at one point, but that's why it's so important to just become okay with messing up and making mistakes, because guess what? Everybody makes mistakes. I know when we make a mistake, we feel like it's earth-shattering and we're so embarrassed, or we think we're the most awkward person or stupidest person alive. But trust me, everybody's done it. Something really beautiful that my therapist told me recently, because I've been going to talk therapy, is asking yourself each day, how can I be imperfect today? I love that. Like, how can I be imperfect today? And that doesn't mean that you're like, okay, I'm gonna break this plate today and be imperfect, or I'm purposely gonna say something really awkward to my boss and embarrass myself. You know, setting a goal like, I'm gonna do this and be imperfect today, but just going about your day. And if you do something that you think is not perfect and you start feeling that guilt or shame, just remind yourself, oh, that's my thing today. That's something that I did to be imperfect, and that's totally okay because I'm just a human. And then just laugh it off. I mean, even me filming this video, like, I can show you, I made several mistakes. And oh my God. Well, ooh. Tips on what are some self-love. What is what a bit. I made several mistakes and it's fine. Like, it happens. We're just human. So make it a point to ask yourself, how can I be imperfect today? And if you make a mistake, well, there you go. You did it. So it's a great way to kind of make something that we usually wrap up in shame and guilt into something a little bit more funny. Number 7, disconnect before bed. I can't tell you how much this has helped my sleep, and my mood is just purposely disconnecting before bed. Whether that's, you know, I try to do it like 2 hours before bed, where I try to limit my phone use at night when I'm disconnecting. And that helps you wind down, because when we're constantly scrolling on social media, that can just make us anxious. And for a lot of us, we can start comparing our lives with others, and maybe we may see something that might upset us. For some of us, it's like watching the news. I do not watch or read the news at night because I don't want to read something that's going to put me in a sad or agitated mood. So that's something that I disconnect from at night before bed too. So making sure that you're unwinding and doing things that are relaxing before bed, which will help you also decompress and de-stress. Do something that disconnects you from your phone, from social media, and from your laptop. And there have been studies that show like all of the blue light around us can mess up our sleep patterns and our circadian rhythm, because it's almost like mimicking the light during the day. So being around your computer screen at night, your phone screen, or even your TV screen can make you stay awake and feel more alert before going to bed. So try to limit that. I use blue light blocking glasses. They look
ridiculous,
but I truly think that they've helped me. And so even when I'm watching TV before bed, I'm wearing them. And yeah, I look kind of crazy, but I don't care because I value my sleep now. Sleep does affect our mood. I have anxiety, and I've noticed when I have several days of less sleep, my anxiety levels will rise. So prioritize your sleep, decompress before bed, and disconnect. Number 8, take yourself on a date. So really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and taking yourself out on a date. Like, even, it doesn't matter if you're single or if you're in a relationship or even if you're married and live together, I cannot stress enough how important it is for me to still date myself, even living with my fiance, Ben. Like, I enjoy my time to myself now, and I love it when I have days where I can take myself out on a date, because that helps you reconnect with yourself, become more comfortable and confident in being by yourself as well, because being alone does not mean lonely. You can be alone and completely content and happy with yourself. So I see that in myself now when I go on my me dates. Whatever it is, do something that you love and that you think you'll enjoy, and do it by yourself without anybody else, so that you get to know yourself a little bit better and you become more comfortable being with yourself and being with your thoughts. Number 9, practice meditation. Now, I have had a journey with meditation. It was always something that I would practice for a little bit and then I'd fall off, and it would be so hard for me to concentrate and just keep it going. And what I personally realized is that I needed a guided meditation. I needed somebody to guide me and kind of walk me through the steps, because I was just trying to just sit here in silence or just listening to music and trying to concentrate. And I'm like,
am I doing this right?
I don't know if I'm doing this right. And so I would never be consistent with it. But that all changed when I downloaded the Headspace app. This is not sponsored by Headspace, unfortunately. It has been a game changer for me with meditation, because there are guided meditations on there, but you can start from the basics, and they have courses, and you can slowly work your way up until you become even more confident with meditating for longer periods of time. But I've honestly seen such a difference. It's helped me become so much more mindful of my own thoughts, and even physical sensations in my body and feelings. And every time I'm done meditating, it feels like I just went to get a massage. I feel so relaxed. Headspace is not free, but you can also just go on YouTube and type in 5-minute meditation, or guided meditation, meditation for beginners. And there's so many videos that you can watch for free that can help you get started. And I can't sing enough praises for meditations. And last, but definitely not least, number 10, become aware of your thoughts. Trust me, a lot of us listen to our thoughts, because those negative thoughts are usually what lead us to think that we're
not good enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not smart enough, that we're stupid, that we're worthless.
All of these things that we're not. And becoming aware of our thoughts is just being aware of them when they come through, and recognizing what emotion is tied to it. What emotion is it bringing up? And then just noting it and being okay, well, I see that, I acknowledge it, but just because I think it doesn't mean it's true. Let me go back to focusing on what I was doing before. A lot of times we try to either fight thoughts that come through our head, or we zero in on them and we obsess over them. I have been there. Story of my life. But when we just acknowledge them for what they are, I see you over there, and then we just let them go, we can actually release it. And this really ties into meditation as well, because meditation has helped me become a lot more aware of all of the thoughts going on in my head. So it's not always easy, especially when you're getting a lot of negative thoughts in your head, but it's something that you can start doing today. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes, and the more it helps you realize that these thoughts in our heads do not define us. They're just thoughts. They're not our reality. I like to see them as gray clouds in the sky, right? You can have a bright sunny day, and then all of a sudden you'll see these gray rain clouds passing by, and it's oh no, this sucks. But then eventually they clear out and they're gone. So that's what we have to do with these negative thoughts. They come in, they just pop in your head, you let them pass, and then they're gone. The problem is when we latch onto them and we obsess over them, because then it just creates like this negative thought pattern, and it just makes us continuously think that way. So that's why it's important to just become aware of them and let them go. And those are some easy self-love habits that you can start today. Again, you don't have to do all of these at once or even multiple of them. What's an easy one that you can start today? Get it started and then just be consistent. If one day you forget, that's fine. Don't beat yourself up. Remember, we're working on self-love. Just get back up and try it again. And then you can add more habits as you see fit and as you become more confident with each habit that you're implementing. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you're new to this channel, I post videos about self-love and fashion every week, so you can go check those out on my channel as well. Remember, you are loved, you are worthy, and you matter. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Love you!